the young and the restless spoilers shock. Claire had always valued her independence and intelligence, traits that had guided her through many challenges. But her current situation with Kyle was proving to be more complex than anything she had faced before. She had fallen for Kyle, not just for his charm and good looks, but for the moments of vulnerability he had shared with her. She believed in the possibility of a future with him, one where they could build a life together, perhaps even as a family with Harrison. Yet, lately, an ominous cloud had begun to gather over her hopes, and it was largely due to Victor Newman. Victor, the patriarch of the Newman family, had never been one to mince words or shy away from making his opinions known. He had always been protective of Claire, his granddaughter, and he saw it as his duty to guide her away from what he perceived as poor decisions. To Victor, Claire's current job as a nanny was beneath her, a waste of her talents, when there were so many opportunities waiting for her at Newman Enterprises. But what truly disturbed him was her growing attachment to Kyle. Victor had always been skeptical of Kyle's intentions. He had seen Kyle's history with women and the trail of broken hearts he had left behind. Summer, Audra, Lola, Tara, each one had been drawn in by Kyle's charm, only to be left in the wake of his selfish decisions. Victor knew Kyle better than most and was convinced that he was not the right man for Claire. In Victor's eyes, Kyle was a man prone to infidelity and deceit, a man who could never offer the stability and respect that Claire deserved. Claire, however, couldn't understand why both Victor and Victoria were so adamant that she stay away from Kyle. She knew Kyle had a past, but who didn't? People made mistakes, they changed, and Claire believed that Kyle could be different with her. But when Victor sat her down and began to unravel the truth about Kyle's history, her confidence wavered. Victor didn't hold back. He laid out Kyle's past relationships in stark detail, recounting how each woman had entered Kyle's life with hopes and dreams, only to leave with heartbreak and bitterness. Summer had been deeply hurt by Kyle's infidelity, Audra had been manipulated, Lola had been left feeling used, and Tara had been cast aside when she was no longer convenient for him. These weren't just stories, they were warnings, lessons learned by other women who had once stood where Claire now stood. As Victor spoke, Claire felt a chill run down her spine. Could Kyle really be that man? The man who had made her feel special, who had shared his fears and dreams with her, was he truly capable of such cruelty? The thought of ending up like Kyle's ex-wives, bitter and resentful, frightened her. Victor's words began to chip away at the idealized image she had of Kyle, replacing it with one of a man who might never change. Victor, seeing the fear in Claire's eyes, softened his tone. He wasn't trying to hurt her, he explained, but rather to protect her. He wanted Claire to be happy, to find someone who would cherish her, not just for a while, but for a lifetime. Kyle, he believed, was not that man. "You're too smart, Claire," Victor said gently. "Don't let your heart lead you down a path that will only bring you pain. You deserve better." Despite her growing doubts, Claire was not one to give up easily. She respected Victor, loved him even, but this was her life, and she needed to make her own decisions. But as the days passed, the seeds of doubt that Victor had planted began to grow. Claire found herself questioning Kyle's every action, every word, wondering if there was something more sinister beneath the surface. Kyle, sensing the shift in Claire's demeanor, became defensive. When he learned that Victor had been the one to fill Claire's head with doubts, his anger boiled over. He was tired of Victor meddling in his life, tired of being judged for his past mistakes. He had changed, or at least he believed he had, and he was determined to prove it to Claire. The idea of Victor pushing Claire to leave him was infuriating, and Kyle knew he couldn't let it go unchallenged. A confrontation was inevitable. Kyle would not stand by and let Victor tear apart the life he was trying to build. He was prepared to fight for Claire, to show her that he could be the man she needed him to be. But deep down, even Kyle couldn't deny the truth of Victor's words. His past was filled with mistakes, and they were not so easily erased. As the tension between Kyle and Victor escalated, Claire found herself caught in the middle, torn between her love for Kyle and the warnings from the family she trusted. The path ahead was unclear, fraught with emotional landmines that could explode at any moment. Would she risk everything for a chance at love with Kyle, or would she heed Victor's warnings and walk away before it was too late?